the BMW R NineT Scrambler. If that interests you, stick around. I'll see you after the intro. Right guys, today I managed to get my hands on this. You have to excuse me, I have sinusitis and yeah, feel like crap. But I want to get out on this thing because I've got it for a few days and you know, you just have to experience this thing. Look at it. Really cool bike from BMW. No longer being made. Then I think the new R90 range is on its way out now with the new 1300 engine. This one's obviously got the 1200cc Boxer engine. Really cool. I mean, look at it. I love the Boxer engine. There's a few different styling features on this bike which are different from the normal R9T. Obviously there's a few different variants of that model now, but this one's obviously the Scrambler, so slightly different seat. You've got sort of these styling elements like this rubber here. This one's got the option of the spoked wheels. They are tubeless. You can see they come to the edge. They don't actually do anything apart from, well, they strengthen the wheel obviously, but it's designed that way so you can have a tubeless tyre. Really cool. I actually quite like the way they look as well. Obviously this is a drive shaft bike, so kind of a single-sided swing arm shaft design. I don't really know how to say that, but that's interesting in itself and the way it rides. Having no chain is interesting. For me anyway, first time I've ever experienced that, as well as the Boxer engine, and those two combinations, it's a weird one. The Scrambler obviously has a slightly different exhaust as well, a Krapovich N-can. Sounds really cool actually. Usually factory Krapovich, you know, aftermarket branded exhausts that come from factory don't really usually sound great. They're quite muffled, but this one actually sounds quite cool. The headlight is nice. I don't know if I can show you that, but you got this quite cool little sleek design LED. I like that. And obviously you have a key, which is different. BMWs are usually slaying away from keys nowadays. Okay, let's get on, have a ride. This bike obviously has heated grips, fairly comfortable. I do notice that just on, I don't know if you can see this one, this kind of digs into my leg a little bit, but that's okay once you've got your feet off the ground. Let's start this thing up anyway. Cool. I noticed when you start the R9T, because of the Boxer engine, it wobbles from side to side in case she's warm. Right, let's give this thing a ride. Obviously it's got a 1200cc engine, doesn't have a fuel gauge, which is something that concerns me a little bit. Brembo brakes, which is good, like a good brake. This Boxer engine is 110 horsepower. I'm not sure the torque, but it's a torquey old engine. Sounds cool. I mean, they model this bike as a Scrambler, but I'm not really sure, you know, I wouldn't want to actually take it off-road. It's just all about style really, I think. But I love the style of this bike. It looks awesome, feels good, sounds good. I love looking down and seeing there's two mighty great Boxer engines sticking out. It's so cool. I feel cool riding this bike. I need a big aviator jacket, a retro helmet, and I'll be away. I love the analog dial as well. Old school, bit of digital there for the other things that you have, such as the mode you're in. It has 3 riding modes. I'll click through them now so you can see. Obviously nice and clear. Road, dirt for whoever wants to use that, and rain. No quick shifter on this thing. I've got to admit, I do miss the quick shifter. I like a quick shifter, and this is the whole. The manualness is, I'm over that now. But it's all about that experience. They've done that on purpose so you can have more of a engaging experience with the bike, which makes total sense for this style of bike. Feels quite long. Like, I can see the tyre just over the light, and it looks like it's miles away. Let's see what it's like pulling out of this junction. Oh yeah, it's plenty fast enough. You won't need any more power than this on this bike. The torque on it's great, and you may have plenty strong brakes with the Brembos here, but the engine braking is insane. And when I change down, the whole bike just does this little wobble. I don't know if that's the drive shaft, because obviously you don't have you won't have much give with a drive shaft. It's just going to be on or off, or it could be the engine, you know, not quite sure the word to use here, but the engine just like revving it. Every time you rev this bike, the whole thing moves from side to side. It's insane. Really weird experience if you've never ridden a boxer engine before, but I haven't. Watch the gravel. Right, let's try. I don't know what gear I'm in, but it's a low one. Look at the torque. I've ridden this bike a little bit, and the more I'm riding it, the more I'm sort of having fun on it, the more I'm enjoying it. It's kind of weird at first. It takes a lot of adjusting to having a boxer engine. Quite sold on it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the boxer engine. So yeah, for the Scrambler they changed the seating position slightly to the standard R9T. The pegs were moved. I think they were moved down and forward. I'm not entirely sure. I just know they were moved because they got a different seat design. I'm not sure if the bars are the same, but they're quite nice and wide. They feel comfortable. The seat is it's not too bad, if I'm honest with you. I've had worse, and it's quite a soft, quite a nice ride. It's not very wide. Like half of my left hand cheek and half of my right hand butt cheek are hanging off the seat, but if you've got a thin bum, then maybe you'd be fine. But yeah, I'm totally fine comfort wise. I've heard the new R9T has got the 1300 engine in, so it'd be interesting to ride one of those. I haven't managed to try that out yet, but this one's lovely. I can see why people love boxer engines, if I'm honest. I hope BMW keep them, especially in the GS and those sort of models. They make more sense. You can get some nice knobbly tyres with this bike as well. The engine braking is insane. I've never felt an engine with so much torquey braking. So it actually sounds pretty sick. Where it's not got a quick shifter, if you're on it a little bit, it does unsettle the bike slightly. That's the only thing I didn't like about this too much. The first time I got on it, I pulled the throttle back, as everyone mostly does. You pull the throttle back just to see what the bike's about, see what it can do, and the front wheel just like blasted up in the air and like jerked. Didn't really like it, but I guess it's the character of the bike, and you just have to like get used to that. I've definitely adjusted since I've been riding it, and it's not been as bad. But yeah, going back to what class of bike this is, saying it's a Scrambler, I'm not really sure what competition this bike has in the current market. There doesn't seem to be many other brands doing similar things. Not that I know of anyway. I might be wrong there, but kind of a retro-y bike that's modern, has all the kit, so it has ABS, for example. Automatic headlights. This one has heated grips, which is an option. I have cruise control as well, which is pretty mad. But yeah, it's kind of like basic bones, back to basics, but keeping a little bit of tech to make it comfortable, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really love this bike. I think it's so cool. I would quite like to get it a bit noisier. If it was me, I'd love to, I don't know, if I had a second hand one of these, maybe delete the cat or something, or ooh, greasy roads. Is this? I tell you what, the torque, you get up to speed in no time. It's one of those things where when you get used to torque, you get used to just hard acceleration to get to a speed. You don't really necessarily find yourself speeding, but you just get there so fast, and it's addictive. It's lovely. It's like having a really nice diesel car or an electric car even, if you ever have driven one of those. They're lovely to get up to the speed. They might not be as quick in, top end, but the torque of them is lovely. Such a smooth engine as well. It's like vibey, but it's smooth, it's forgiving. I love it. I can feel the back end skipping around though when I'm braking hard or engine braking hard. You can feel the back end just moving to the side, and a bit weird. Got my own hair in my face. Need a haircut. Heated grips are good on this. My hands are really toasty. I was actually quite surprised of how quick this bike drops into corners. It drops in so fast. I don't know if that's just the tyres that I've got, or I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what tyres this thing has on it. They're like not quite road tyres, but not quite off-road tyres. It'd be great to do a little tour on around some back country. Get a photo. Let's get a photo. So it'll just look good here in its natural sort of dirt habitat. The gears are a bit funky. You know when you like click down into first gear, usually you can't click any further, but this one has a bit of space at the bottom and it feels like it's in neutral, but it's actually in first. Yep, that'll do. So yeah, you can see, look at the tread depth in that. Bridgestone Battle Axe Adventure. There we go. I believe you can get different tyres if you want. Like pure road. Go on, son. Listen to that thing. I don't know if you can see this. Look how much this thing moves. That's the engine purely doing that. Sounds sick. Sounds really sick. Big fan of the Boxer engine. Big fan. I gotta say, I was skeptical before I got on this bike. I didn't really know if I'd like an R9T. Any R9T, that is. I've never really looked at them and thought I want one. But since I've ridden this thing, and actually, even with no quick shifter, I'm having such a good time on it. It sounds awesome. I love the Boxer engine. I'm probably sold by it. I would have one. I think new this bike is about 12,500, maybe just under. That's without any options. You'll obviously be adding quite a bit to that with several options if you want to. Getting into first gear is weird. It's not difficult, but it's weird. It's not quite as smooth as I like. So yeah, the suspension is obviously not adjustable. You can't adjust the front suspension. You can adjust the rear, make it a bit softer if you wish, or harder. Though it's quite nice. It's quite nice. Just, you know, I've got it sort of right bang in the middle, and it's fine. I do really love the Scrambler vibe though. I love home builds especially. So nice and smooth. The engine. If you haven't ridden a Boxer engine before, I'd recommend giving it a go, just because they're so weird but so nice. I'd love to have one of these bikes. It's good fun. And you've obviously got really good build quality with BMW, so yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about if it's going to fall apart. Gonna give way. Oh, it feels great. I don't like the fact I haven't got a fuel gauge. Like, where's the fuel gauge? Come on, give me a fuel gauge. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Here we go, talking about fuel gauge, I've just had the fuel light come on. How weird. Better go to the fuel station then. So yeah, when you get, well, the miles have started to count basically. So I don't know how many miles I've got until it runs out, but you probably have to guess. Alright, she's all filled. Oh, getting dark. It's like 3 o'clock. Depressing. I mean, at least he said sorry. Anyway guys, that's going to wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed the little mini review of this BMW R NineT Scrambler. I've certainly enjoyed riding it. If you've got any questions, pop them down below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you wish to see more. Hope you guys keep safe. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.